It's gonna take more than fancy talk to keep me up all night crawling around these bushes. More fancy talk.
Hey everybody, this is Bud, and welcome to the Fancy Talk podcast, hosted this week on my new YouTube channel, The Shape of Horror Podcast. And let me bring in my wonderful co-hosts from the Jake Blaster Productions YouTube
I don't know
channel.
how wonderful I am. I don't know if wonderful would be a,
It's not an adjective I would use.
Well, I think you're pretty all right, dude.
You think so? All right. I'll
Yeah.
take it. What's going on, guys?
Welcome, Jake. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good. I'm excited about this one, to be honest with you. I'm not as well versed on the Friday franchise as I am on the Halloween franchise, but definitely was looking over some things as far as making this list tonight, and yeah, I'm excited.
And,
what about you guys?
I'm excited for this list. I think it's very popular. Friday the 13th is hugely popular, and goes hand in hand with horror. So let me introduce my other co-host, who's it's been a while since you've been on. 2 weeks with us? Me and Jake, we did a pop-up kind of live broadcast last week, but you went on a nice little vacation, and welcome back, Nick Pusch from Nick Pusch's Horror Channel.
Thanks, man. Excited to be on your new channel. Finally invited me on. Jesus.
Yeah, you've missed the last two trivias. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But no.
By design.
No comment. But yeah, I'm excited for tonight. It's nice to be back doing our podcast here, and I'm glad we were able to get it on your channel here. So I'm happy to be on. Scope and Blaster wasn't going to show, but here we are.
No, man, I'm here. Hey, and I will say this to you guys and everybody in the chat: if you guys hear thunder and lightning and rain, I mean, my God, it's like a Friday the 13th movie outside of my house right now. It is unbelievable, the thunder and lightning that's going on. So it just adds to the ambiance of the whole thing, But yeah, man, let's go over to the chat, bud. We got some people in the chat.
Go ahead and call them out.
We got Paxton Scoggins says he's been waiting for this one. Yeah, what's going on, man? How you doing? Allie says it's Wednesday. It sure is. James Morant says, hey, guys, glad to be here. James is always here. Good job, man. What's going on? Adam Howard, what's up, buddy? Entertainment Wizard. Ben Taylor says, hi, what's going on, man? And
that looks like
and then Entertainment Wizard and James Morant are giving me hell about H2O, as they always do. You guys know how I feel about it. You guys know. Oh yeah.
So
I think it's pretty well established.
It seems like it, yeah.
Well, I forgot to mention this is episode 5 of Fancy Talk podcast.
Yeah.
Racking myself all day what I was gonna say, and I fucking forgot that. I was like,
that's all right, bud. That's why we're here. We're here to pick you up. Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear any of y'all say it, so.
Well,
Yep.
It's not on our channels. That's the thing. We can just kind of relax a little bit.
Yeah. You're the quarterback tonight, bud. You're the quarterback.
Yes. So Friday the 13th, when was the last time either of you have sat down and watched a Friday the 13th film? We've been so focused, like dialed in on Halloween for, it seems it's 2 years now that we've been dialed in on this.
I think in June, I usually watch like either 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I watched like 2 and 4 in June. I think it was June that we had a Friday the 13th on the calendar. So I watched a couple. I like to watch them at the beginning of summer just because obviously they're summer seasonal movies. But other than that, I haven't sat down and watched every movie in the franchise in a while.
Yeah, we were just talking about that we should probably kind of maybe do something like that, like we did with Halloween on the Road to Kills. We did all the watch parties. It would probably be a good thing to do. We'll talk about that at another time. But the last one that I watched was Part 6. I love Part 6, and I a couple months ago I turned it on to watch it, and I mean, it's not an Oscar winner. It's nothing earth-shattering, but I just love the camp setting of Part 6. I love Jennifer Cook as as the final girl there, and I just I don't know. I like the kills in Part 6. I like C.J. Graham as Jason. I think he's intimidating Jason, and so yeah.
So I watched Crystal Lake Memories a couple months ago. I hadn't really. I've seen it in bits and pieces.
Isn't it
and
like
I was
10
really,
hours long?
It's a
oh my
good
god!
documentary.
There's 2 parts. It is a very thorough documentary, and it's learned a lot of stuff about this franchise and just
Yeah.
Yeah, they spend like 45 minutes on each movie or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Hold on, can I hold on? Can I before you go on? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but somebody named Michael, great name first of all, says he said, "Ugh, H2O is awful." My man, you are right. Welcome in. I don't think I've seen you here before, but welcome to the show. You are absolutely 100% right. That's an educated person right there. Sorry, just wanted to point that out.
For those that don't know, Friday the 13th, the original, is coming out in 4K Blu-ray in a couple of weeks. And
Ooh, that could be a mistake.
I'm looking. No, why would it be a mistake?
Just
You're gonna. I think you're gonna see.
I don't know if Friday the 13th franchise will lend itself well to 4K. I mean, obviously Part 3 won't because you're gonna see wires everywhere. But but even the original, it's so dark and dimly lit, and I think that's part of the ambiance.
Yeah, the only one that won't is actually Friday the 13th Part 3 because they shot it, in 3D, and it just I don't know how they can. The same thing with Jaws 3. If they ever do 4Ks with those, they actually have to take the original camera negative and scan them in 4K. So I don't think that one will look good. But I've seen Friday the 13th. There is a 4K scan of it, and it's never looked better actually. So when they release the 4K here, it'll actually be in high dynamic range, HDR. So
it's never looked better. That's what you're saying.
It's never looked better. I'm telling you right now.
I just like the campiness. I don't know, man. I think
some
movies are just better.
You know what I like? I like the graininess of those old.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. And like even when you watch Halloween and Halloween 2, that's what's great about those movies. There's just a graininess about those late 70s, early 80s slasher movies that you just can't replicate. You know what I mean? At least
you guys are gonna have to come visit me and watch on my setup, and you'll fucking learn about 4K.
I know you're a big
your mind will be blown away. Well, I'm a physical media guy.
So let's visit you, and we can do a show all together, one camera.
One camera from Bud's. Bud, actually, if you want to know, guys, what's going on in the chat, you're wondering why Bud's room is red. It's because he has the Kenny Rogers Roasters chicken sign piping into his room. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Does anybody get that reference besides Nick Pusch?
No.
I was focused on what your buddy Michael is saying in the chat now.
Yeah, who's Michael?
I don't know.
Michael seems like a plant. Is that a plant?
I don't know. He seems like he knows what he's talking about. I mean,
yeah. Okay, so if you guys want to get into some news real quickly, because tonight's list it'll be long.
Yeah, let's go.
And thorough. Yeah. Let's get into some news really quick. We'll start with Halloween Ends. Couple of things. David Gordon Green did an interview with Empire Magazine. They released a new exclusive image that shows Michael, or the shape. I'll just say the shape, but it looks like he's fucking up some older lady. But what's newsworthy coming out of this interview is he said that even now, to this day, they are still tinkering with the ending of Halloween Ends. They don't have it locked in yet. So I'm going to go to Nick first. What is that? How does that make you feel? Are you worried? You think, a month? We're almost... Tomorrow when we wake up, we're going to be able to say Halloween Ends comes out next month. Does that worry you that they don't have the ending locked in at this late of date in the... Like,
I mean, like you said, tomorrow's September. What the
mm-hmm,
fuck? What the fuck, man? Like, I thought this was a professional production, right?
mm-hmm,
Like,
right.
it's a little mind blowing to me. It tells me that they can't make a decision on this. Um, it's not like they haven't had time to make a decision. It tells me they're looking too much into what either test screenings are doing or what whoever is in their ear is doing, and they're trying to make a decision that's going to please everybody. And you know how that saying ends.
Yeah.
So it's just it it is a little concerning to me. I can sit here and bitch about, the production and everything we've heard from behind the scenes till I'm blue in the face. I guess we'll see what happens, but I wasn't a huge fan of the ending to either of these movies, to be honest. Um, 2018, I thought was abrupt.
Yeah.
I thought
Mm-hmm.
Kills, obviously, they kind of tinkered with the ending a little bit. I thought that was also kind of abrupt, although I do understand what they were going for. So, as much as they've gotten right in this trilogy, and the people that are gonna bitch, the people that hate this trilogy, you can't deny that they have gotten some things right. As much as they've gotten things right in this trilogy, to me personally, they haven't gotten the endings of these movies right, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't seem like it's something that they have really a grasp on. And this is Halloween Ends. This is the end of this saga, the end of this saga. So it's got to be something that they should have mapped out and have planned out. And clearly they haven't. And yes, that's concerning. It's a long way of saying
Okay,
that.
so
Well,
Jake, wait, wait, wait,
yeah.
wait. Let
Okay.
me just. So, in what was it? The spring of 2019, they announced Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. They announced them at the same time, the same little teaser.
Mhm.
So we knew in 2019 that they were going to do 2 more movies, and then they're going to film them back to back. Halloween Kills is made, and then COVID hits. It delays Halloween Kills, and it gives them extra time, a whole extra year or two, to really nail down the ending of this trilogy and Halloween Ends. And here we are a month away, and they're still tinkering with the ending.
Well, it's not just that though, bud. It's not just yes, you're right, but it's not just that. Listen, Halloween 2018 was a very mixed bag for me. I would say 40% I liked, 60% I wasn't crazy about.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween Kills, kind of the same thing. It's a 50-50 thing with these guys. Like Nick said, they do a lot of things really well. Greg Shepard just said the flashback in Kills was phenomenal. Totally agree, man. The flashback was the best part of that movie. I would have liked to see them stay in that world a little longer. However, the longer you stay in that world, the more chance you have to fuck stuff up. But it's fine. I mean, look, I think that was it was clearly the best part of that movie. But when you talk about ends and you talk about, like Nick said, everything Nick said, ditto, echo it all. We're what? How a little more than a month away, and you're still not sure about what ending you. I mean, have conviction, pick an ending, and go with it, and let the
Yeah.
chips fall where they may. What is this with this? 2 endings. Entertainment Wizard says he heard 3 endings. I'm hearing there's gonna be a different ending on Peacock than there is in the theater. What the fuck is that all about? Like,
No chance.
again, here's the problem, and you say it. I could say it till we're blue in the face. The more and more sequels you make to these movies, this is where you end up. This is it. So, look, I don't have any faith that these guys are going to be able to stick the landing on this. I don't. Call me a pessimist, whatever you want. Fine.
You're a
I hope I'm.
pessimist.
I hope I'm wrong. If I am wrong, I will say I'm wrong. But it just it's one of these things where when you're telling me right now that you're waking up and you're tinkering with the ending a little over a month out, that's concerning to me. To me, that's concerning. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm wondering if all this is an elaborate setup for selling the Blu-rays. Remember they did the Halloween Kills extended cut. I have a feeling we're gonna see. I think there are 2 endings, I think
How
we're
much
going to see
money
them
can
both.
they
in
make
some-
from Blu-ray sales though? Like compared to
actually,
like a
actually
lot?
there has been an uptick in physical media sales.
Has
So
there?
yes, so there is. You notice they're bringing out like Christmas Vacation in
Yeah.
4K Blu-ray. They're bringing up movies you wouldn't even fathom wasting the money to fucking convert to 4K. I'll give you Red Dawn for instance. Great movie, but man, I got the 4K of it and it's not good.
Yeah.
So I worry, there's always that chance that the quality's going to go down, but
Well, look,
yeah,
I mean,
there is a market for it. There is.
Look, we just need to wait now. We're in a waiting pattern. Let's go see the movie and just see what happens. That's really where we're at here. That's where I'm at,
Yeah.
All right, what else we got on tap here, bud?
Beverly Hills Cop 4. We're all Beverly Hills Cop fans.
Yeah.
I think we did was it our top 10 movies list, and I think was it top 10 movies? Top 10 sequels,
right?
Top 10 sequels. It was our first or
well,
second
no, it's
one,
top
yeah.
10 sequels. I'm pretty sure one of us had, even on their top 10 favorite movies, had Beverly Hills Cop 2. I think we all had Beverly Hills Cop.
We all did.
One
I think it's better than the first one. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think James Moran. I think James thinks it's better than the first one too. But here's what I'll say about what Beverly Hills Cop 4. What they should do is they should take a page out of what Top Gun Maverick did and take a page out of what Cobra Kai is doing. I think you obviously need Eddie Murphy. Okay. Your Paul Reiser, Bud said he's coming back.
Yeah,
That's
he
fine.
is back
Paul
for
Reiser,
sure. Yeah.
You need Judge Reinhold. I'm sorry. I love Eddie Murphy. Love Paul Reiser. You need Judge Reinhold. He has to be in this movie. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He has to be in this movie. I don't know how you guys feel, but
I agree completely. I think Judge Reinhold might not be the heart of the movie because Axel Foley is just such a great, charismatic, steam-sealing character. But Judge Reinhold is he's like the heartbeat of who the everyday Beverly Hills cops are, and he's just such, like his turn in part 2 to with all the guns and everything. I think he's fantastic. Here's what I would do. And I just thought of this right now. What I would do, and I don't know if they're doing this or not. I have no idea on any leaks or anything about the script or anything like this. What I would do is I would have another cop in a similar situation to what Eddie Murphy was in, and have kind of pull a page out of Scream's book a little bit, where like Axel Foley and Paul Reiser and hopefully Judge Reinhold are kind of more in complementary roles, but Axel Foley also kind of can be his steam-sealing self, and he's helping this young cop, whether it's I don't know who it would be, but I'd almost do something like that where you're kind of passing the torch a little bit. And some other cop is in a similar situation that Eddie Murphy found himself in the first couple movies. I don't think they'll do that because Eddie Murphy's going to be the selling point here.
Right.
But yeah, it's an idea if they want to make this a continuing franchise. You can get like Michael B. Jordan or someone like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we can tell you that Taylor Page, not familiar with her. She's an up-and-coming actress. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt, they've been cast in the movie, and I think they're playing the new. I think they're going to be playing their new Rosewood and Taggart, like the cops.
I was just looking at Taggart. John Astin. He's 74, so he's still alive.
Does he still look like Gerald Ford?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, it's such a great part of that movie.
So that this was announced, and then the next day they're filming in Los Angeles. So this thing's underway. There's some set photos. You can see Eddie Murphy. He's got the famous Detroit Lions jacket. Yes,
and it's gonna be it's gonna be great to see Eddie Murphy come back to this role after how long has it been? What was Beverly Hills Cop 3? I think was like 94.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about literally almost 18 years here. No, not longer than that. 28 years. Sorry, I can't add. But yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be awesome to see him embody the character of Axel Foley again. I'm excited for that. But yeah, I
All right.
I would say I can't wait for it. Yeah.
All right, really quickly, Cobra Kai comes out September 9th. Probably going to
Yes, it
release it
does. A little
midnight
over
Eastern.
a week away. I
Both
think
of you, both of you have fresh new Cobra Kai content out. Be sure to go to their channels afterwards and check out their new Cobra Kai videos. Anything you want to say about Cobra Kai, Jake? Go ahead.
Well, the new clip just released today, and you can go watch my video on my channel and definitely check out the clip. I think Netflix has, they released it and it's on YouTube, but it's basically Daniel and Chosen, and there's something that Chosen says in that clip that's very interesting, pertaining to what could happen in season 5. And I gotta be honest, I've loved everything that these guys have done through the first 4 seasons, and I cannot wait to see all of this, and there's a lot, all of it unfold in season 5. And the one thing that I really think we're going to get in season 5, just real quick, is I think we're going to get a redemptive arc for John Kreese. I think they started that ball rolling a little bit. They started that ball rolling a little bit at the end of season 4, and I really think we're going to get to see Kreese have some kind of redemptive arc, which will be interesting. Like they made me actually feel bad for John Kreese, which I never thought.
Does he deserve
I would ever
it,
feel
though?
bad.
I agree with you, Blaster, that they're gonna try to redeem Kreese or have a redemptive arc. I hope they do it, but I hope they do it better than they did with like Hawk, for instance. It's kind of a show where people change sides a lot, and that's just the nature of the show. And with Hawk, I didn't buy it. He broke Dimitri's arm in, what was that, season 3?
That was in season, yes.
Yeah, mid-season 3. He broke Dimitri's arm, and then they had a few scenes of him staring up or staring at the camera, like thinking like bad about what he's done, and then all of a sudden they break into the LaRusso house. And he changes sides, and it was a cool scene, especially with the music. They had like some type of Christmas music turned into Cobra Kai. It was really good,
kind of like a rock Christmas song.
Yeah. So I hope with Kreese they flesh it out a little more, and with him being in prison, I think they have a good chance to do that. But I know Silver is a badass villain, but let's not forget the shit that Kreese was pulling here. Like what I said, is he redeemable? I think the show is going to, show us that, everybody is redeemable. Well, if they want to be redeemed,
I think the great thing of season 4 is Kreese and Silver started at 2 separate sides and ended up like Kreese started out win at all costs. We got to win. We got to beat LaRusso. We got to beat Johnny Lawrence. Terry Silver started out with, I'm not that man anymore. I'm a different man. Even when he came back to Cobra Kai, listen, we want to fight fair. We don't want to. And then all of a sudden, somewhere mid-season, boom, it turned, and Silver, Silver became Terry Silver of Karate Kid 3. And at the end of season 4 at the tournament, Kreese kind of lightens up on Tori, says, you fight your own fight. He goes out in the hallway and he asks Johnny how Miguel's doing, and he starts to kind of give us that little exposition scene about why he made Johnny sweep the leg in the original movie and why, massively done, just massively done.
I really loved how Silver said, I figured out your weakness.
Yes.
Johnny Lawrence.
I love that.
Such a great line.
And that's where it started. It started Kreese's kind of arc to learning something. Started when him and Silver, when Johnny showed up at that future dojo or showed up at that warehouse or whatever.
Yes,
and Silver beat the fuck
him
out of him.
Yes.
And Kreese is like, that's enough. Because Kreese saw the Cobra Kai motto or whatever you want to call it happening to someone that he actually cares about, and he didn't like it.
That's a great point, Nick. That's a great point, and you're exactly 100% right about that. And I'll say one more thing about Cobra Kai before we get into our lists here, but I don't know how you guys feel. Listen, I would look. I love the original Karate Kid. For me, it's the best. Second, I would put the show Cobra Kai, and then I would put the Karate Kid Part 2. Listen, I like the Karate Kid Part 3, but I'm glad they ended it there. I don't think it's I don't think it's as good as the first 2 movies, and I don't think it's as good as the show. But I think what they've done with the characters that were in the Karate Kid Part 3, what they've done with Terry Silver, has been nothing short of amazing. I cannot wait to see Mike Barnes. I just can't wait to see Barnes and how he's going to enter this picture. Whose side is he going to be on? I just can't wait. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. But...
Really quickly, I want to bring up what Shane Emerson he asked. Did anyone see the trailer for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? Did you guys check that out today?
No, I did not.
I did. It looks god awful.
Does it? It's
yeah.
So I guess Winnie the Pooh is public domain now, so you don't have to have rights to. It's kind of like Pinocchio, where every studio could, whoever the fuck wants, can make.
Winnie we could make a Winnie the Pooh movie if we wanted to.
Yeah, so some people went out and made a Winnie the Pooh horror movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. The trailer released today. It looks interesting. I don't know how good it's gonna be. It looks cheap as fuck.
I mean, it's guys wearing masks. It's not like you got a real Eeyore.
It's really weird.
Well, Shane says the production value is better than he expected. He said.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he's talking about Fancy Talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's what he's talking about. All right, does everybody have their list ready?
Yeah. So let's one thing I want to
give me a thumbs up in the chat if you have your list ready.
Yeah, everybody, you know how it goes. Thumbs up in the chat. And a couple things I want to say here before we get into our top 10 Friday the 13th franchise kills. Number 1, let's everybody give Bud a like on this video. And if you haven't, I'm sure everybody's subscribed to the channel. But if you haven't, definitely help Bud out and subscribe to the channel.
I hate to beg.
Bud, no, well, I'm going to beg for you, man. You're a great guy, great friend, and Bud is really working hard at this. So, listen, you guys know how we're going to do this. If you've been on Fancy Talk before, you know how it goes. If you haven't, I'm going to tell you how it goes. We are going to start. I don't know what order we're going to go in. Bud will tell us.
I think Nick, since it's his big return.
Okay, so Pusch is going to go first.
I think Nick can go first.
Yeah, he'll give his number 10. I'll go second, and I'll give my number 10.
Perfect.
Then Bud's going to give his number 10. And while we're doing that, you guys put your number 10 Friday the 13th franchise kill in the chat, and we're going to read yours after we do ours. You guys know how it goes. It's a very interactive thing. We want to hear from you guys. We want you guys to say what you got to say. Give us your top 10 franchise kills. So if you want, start putting those number 10s in the chat right now. Let's get this show underway. This is the moment everybody's been waiting for. Nick Pusch. We're talking top 10 Friday the 13th franchise kills. There's a lot of them, my man. Where do you begin your list?
I begin my list with a kill that I don't hear anybody ever talking about. Ever. Like, literally never. It's not nobody's list, but I wanted to include it because I love it. It's from Jason Takes Manhattan. It's not Julius. It is, I don't even know this character's name, but it's the Sauna Rocks kill.
Yeah.
He shoves it right in the guy's stomach.
Yeah. So they got the view from up top. I don't know if it's kind of like an aerial shot. The guy's in the sauna. The guy was just boxing Julius. He's got a towel over his head. Jason walks in, and the guy's talking to him because he thinks he's Julius. Hey, nice job, Julius. We got to get some chicks after this. And Jason literally, he's got, a tattered glove, picks up the sauna rocks, and like you said, just shoves them into his stomach, and you see his body just flailing and like kind of fire coming out of his stomach,
Yeah.
I wanted to include this just because I've always liked it, and I don't hear anyone talk about it, so I wanted to make sure I give it some love. So that is my number 10.
All right, nice. That's a good one, man. All right, everybody's putting their number 10s in the chat. Good job, guys. Good job. My number 10 is also from Friday. Oh, well, no, you said that's part 8. I'm getting them all. Mine is from part 6, Friday the 13th, part 6, and it is when Michael, with one fell swoop of a machete, takes.
Hold on a second.
Wait, what?
You did it already.
What?
You can't stop talking Halloween, can you?
What did I say, Michael?
Yeah.
I did. He's talking about himself.
You guys know what I'm. Listen, I have Halloween. I have Halloween on the brain every minute of every day. I'm sorry.
Well, my name's Michael, so I mean,
that's
maybe.
True. And my name's Michael, so it's true. All right, sorry guys. Let me start that over. Jason, when Jason, with one fell swoop of the machete, takes off those 3 paintballers' heads, that is just fucking classic. It's not like when Michael took off what's her name's head with the knife.
With the
This
knife,
is
yeah.
actually Jason with that huge machete. He just takes one fell swoop
Yeah.
and takes those 3 guys' heads off. I really like that. So
Doesn't he like jump down almost from a tree and then you see
Yeah.
him slowly grab it and this guy's just standing there. Yeah,
it's great.
It's
great.
classic. It's in the daytime too.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's right on the paintball field.
Yeah, it's a good one.
All right.
It's classic.
So guys, the killer's name is Jason. If you breaking news, spoiler alert, the killer's name is Jason.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't need to say.
Let everybody know. All right, so it's my number 10.
Yeah.
And it kills me to include this one because it's from Jason X. I don't know, you call it Jason X or Jason 10? Is it Jason X or Jason 10?
X.
It's
Jason
X.
X.
It's X.
We could probably do a whole video arguing that. I think it's X. But the kill where she has the liquid nitrogen and he like fucking like puts her face in the liquid nitrogen and smashes her fucking head on the counter and breaks her head. That's my number 10 favorite.
That's a good one, bud.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Very good one.
I think that's the best part of that piece of shit movie. And it's the worst. It is the worst movie in the whole franchise.
No,
Jason
it's
X.
not. No,
disagree,
no.
but-
No.
I disagree, but that's for.
But yeah, that's definitely a good kill.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the chat. Who wants to read the chat here?
Sorry,
You want me to
dogs.
read it? You want me to start off?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right,
go
go
ahead.
ahead, Nick. Go ahead. You go.
Sure, I'll go first. Looks like James Morant is our first one. He's got Andy kill from part 3. That's when he's doing the handstand. That is a good one.
Yes.
Which you can see coming a mile away. Yeah.
Maybe mentioned again. I would not. Paxton Scoggin says Nikki head crushed in RV part 6. I like that one too.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it goes like it's through the mirror and it like makes impression on the
her face.
back of the wall. Yeah,
that's
that
a
is
great one. Good one.
Shane's got Kevin Bacon's death in the original.
Yeah,
another
classic
fucking
one.
classic.
Classic
Tom
Savini.
Savini. Yep.
Savini. Yep.
Entertainment Wizard as the Brett bed kill in Freddy vs. Jason. That is a good one because he's as Jason folds the bed up, he's shaking, his beer can is shaking there. So yeah, that's a good one, Greg. Adam Howard says the guy showering in part 3 who got his head crushed. I think he meant part 4.
You missed Allie's number 10. She says she said
Eddie, the blind.
Oh, sorry,
she
Allie.
said
Sorry.
Eddie. Yeah.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry. Yep. Eddie, tree blindfold, new beginning. That is a good one, Allie. Might be mentioned again as well. Did I get Entertainment Wizard? Yep.
Folds
Greg
him
Shepard.
up like the Sunday New York Times. Yeah.
Yes. Greg Shepard's number 10 is for me is Dream Sequence in 5. It's the only kill in the movie. Dream Sequence in 5.
Is that the one with
I think he's
Corey Feldman?
Yeah, I think what he means is that it's Roy in part 5 and it's not Jason. I think I get what he's saying.
No, I think he means Corey Feldman's dream sequence
when
at the beginning.
They dig Jason up and he stabs the guy with the machete. Yeah, okay, sorry. Yes, good call.
Yeah.
Adam Howard says the guy showering in part I think he means part 4 who got his head crushed. That's a very good one. I agree.
Yes.
That's a brutal one.
Oh yeah.
I think that is it for our number 10s.
Okay. All right. So we're moving on to number 9. Everybody put your number 9s in the chat. Let's get them in there. And number 9 for Nick Pusch is gonna be
number 9 for me is the one that Allie just said. It's I call it the belt tree eyes. That's what I wrote down. But it's essentially the guy's backing up into a tree, gets a belt thrown against thrown against his eyes, and then the guy takes like a wood thing. Roy takes a wood thing and just starts turning it. You just see the belt go across his eyes and blood coming out. It's brutal. If you think about the logistics of it, the way it's kind of thrown over there, it probably doesn't make too much sense that he was able to do it. But I just think it's brutal. A belt going through your skull, right through your eyeballs like that. I thought it was really, really well done. So that is my number 9.
That's a good one. My number 9 is it's a brutal death. It's I think the chick's name is Amanda. It's from the remake, Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake. It's when she's burnt like in the tent. She's burning alive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about in the beginning of the movie when he's got her in like oh my god, that kill is brutal. When the dude's like trapped in that bear trap and he's like looking at she just burns and all she just falls out. It's just like Oh
Yes.
my God, that's a brutal way to go.
Horrifying. Horrifying.
Absolutely. So that would be my number 9. All right, bud, what do you got?
Okay, so you remember Jimbo's friend, the one that let's break out the computer? I can't remember his name, but he calls Jimbo a dead fuck. What the fuck?
What the hell is his name?
Oh, it's
Teddy.
yes.
Yeah, Teddy, that's it. Anyway, Teddy's watching the Stag film.
Yeah.
And he backs up. My number 9 favorite kill is where he's like backs up to the screen and then bam, he gets stabbed right in the back.
Right it's like right in the back of the head, right?
Yeah, right in the back of the head, and he kind of slides down.
Slides down, yeah.
That's my number. That's my number 9.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. All right, let's go to the chat. Let's see what we got here. I just don't want to miss anything, so I'm scrolling up here.
Teddy bear.
James Moran says, okay, number 9. Spray gun to the balls from part 4. The harpoon gun thing. That's I call it a harpoon gun. That to the balls in part 4. That's a great one, James.
Yeah, that might be.
That is a real good one. Oh my God, if you're a guy, that's pretty painful. That's a painful one. Paxton Scoggins says Roy Burns impaled on the tractor. Friday the 13th, a new beginning. Yeah. Yeah, great. It's a good one too. Entertainment Wizard says Rick, head crush, eyeball pop. Oh, that's from part 3. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. And then Adam Howard says number 9, Crazy Ralph's Colombian necktie. That's a good one.
That is.
Yeah. Shane Emerson says number 9, Mark, wheelchair guy, Death in Part 2. Definitely a classic one in the franchise for sure. I think I got everybody's. I think so. Did I? Entertainment Wizard. No,
Allie just
Shane's asking what was your number 9, Jake? Shane Emerson was asking.
My number 9 was Amanda from the remake, the chick that was burnt like in
where she was was she burnt in the tent or the sleeping bag?
Was the sleeping bag or the whole?
Well, yeah, because he strung her up in the sleeping bag over the fire.
Yeah, sleeping bag. I keep saying a tent, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Allie says number 9, bed fold up scene in Freddy versus Jason. Okay. Yeah,
a lot of people like that. That is a brutal kill. Yeah.
Okay, I think I got them all. So let's go on to
number 8.
Number 8. Yep. Push. What do you got? Number 8.
Number 8. One sentence. I got sleeping bag from the remake, the same one you just said, Blaster.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, you got the guy in the bear trap there, reaching out and.
And that's brutal too.
Oh God, yeah. That whole beginning of that movie. I mean, we could talk about that another time, but it's fantastic. But it's probably one of the most intense 15 minutes in any horror movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But yeah, just he strings her up over the fire and she's burning alive in there. They have the camera in there showing her struggling, and then you see her dead corpse, fall out because and just burned alive. Like that is brutal. It's just I love the way they use the sleeping bag, the famous sleeping bag death, which I'm sure at least someone will mention at some point, and put a different twist on it for the remake.
Yes.
So I thought that's the right thing to do in a remake.
A very, very good point. Yep. All right, so everybody get those number 8s in the chat. Let's see your number 8s. What do you got? My number 8. And we talked about it's from Friday the 13th, Part 4, and it's nothing too extravagant, but it's when I think of Jason Voorhees, this is like one of the images that comes to my mind, and it's when he throws that chick Terry, he takes her, he throws her out and onto the station wagon.
Yeah.
And the whole station wagon all of a sudden just implodes. It's like I don't know. I really like that kill because to me that is just quintessential Jason Voorhees. But yeah, that would be my number 8. Terry, I think, is the chick's name from Part 4. She's one of the twins.
I love the music in there too. You hear, like it's just like it kind of brings like an epicness.
Yeah, and he just grabs her through the window and
through the window tosses her, and it's the slow motion of the windows breaking in the car, and it's great.
Yeah. So that would be my number 8. What do you got, bud?
Okay, I've seen a couple from Part 1, the original, and my number 8. It's not the first person to die, but it's the first person in, the, when it opens up back in the 50s or whatever.
Yes.
The first death in 1980, it's going to be Annie, because it really set the tone for, just how kind of brutal Friday the 13th was going to be, where she's just like this sweet, innocent, young, teenager or whatever, and she's going to go be the cook at the camp.
Yep.
And she just,
I'll
really
tell you
good.
what's great about that
And
scene
it's just
too
a brutal. She just cuts her fucking throat, and it's just.
What's great about that whole scene too is the whole POV of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's just kind of creepy too, the way she gets picked up hitchhiking, and we don't see the driver, and she's talking to her.
Yeah, she's
and
just
then,
all
the
nice
driver's,
and.
Yeah, the driver's speeding up, and Annie's talking. She's like, "Okay, it's back. It was back there."
Yeah.
And then speeding up, and then jumps out, and then we in film we had seen people get their throats slit before in movies before 1980, but we'd never seen anything that realistic as Tom Savini did. That kill.
Yeah, I'm gonna dig into the Halloween bag, but you remember Annie's death in the original Halloween?
Yes.
She had her throat cut as well, but that was, that was left to your imagination, really. And this one was just boom, in your face, man. It tells you what kind of movie this is gonna be. So that's my number 8. Was that it? Number 8? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the chat. You want to read them, bud?
I got them. All right, so the first number 8, the sheriff bent backwards in the pretzel, Sheriff Garris, in part 6. That's
great one.
Axel's death in the opening of part 4. He takes the hacksaw to the throat.
Yes,
that's a good one.
That's a real good one.
Allie has I had the frozen face kill from Jason X is my number 10. Her name's Adrian. She has that as her number 8. Entertainment Wizard has Vera, the spear gun kill to the eye.
Great kill.
Friday the 13th, part 3. Yes.
Great kill. Yeah.
Number 8 from Greg Shepard. Kevin Bacon's death. He takes the arrow through the throat.
Yep.
Another really brutal, well done practical effect. So what's so great about Friday the 13th were the practical effects.
Right.
Paxton Scoggins, Tina's eyes gouged out with garden shears. Friday the 13th, A New Beginning. Is the kill or was it something else? Oh, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Was it the kill that he liked about that scene, or was it something else?
Wasn't her name Voorhees? Wasn't her last name that? Wasn't it Debbie Sue Voorhees, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the actress,
name, right? Yeah.
And then
something
Adam
else,
Howard.
You mean what do you mean by something else, bud?
Her BFTs.
I know what you.
Okay.
And then, go ahead, Adam
BFTs.
Howard, yeah.
His is a simple one. It's Jason outside the upstairs window in part 4 when he throws.
You
had that one too.
Same one, man. Yeah, we had the same one, Adam. Good job, man. That's a good kill. All
right, so that's the number 8.
Shane said she was a Playboy bunny. That Debbie.
She was.
I believe it.
Of course, Shane of all people knows that.
Shane knows that. Shane knows his stuff.
He's a college boy.
All right, so let's get into number 7. Nick Pusch, what do you got?
My number 7's been mentioned a couple times already. It is the liquid nitrogen kill from Jason X.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about it that we haven't already said, but it's just it's one thing I do like about the scene is Jason kind of moves a little, and she turns around, and he's back to laying still, and then all of a sudden she turns around again because she thinks she hears something, and he's gone, and then all of a sudden he pops up behind her, and then puts her head in there. I think he gets a boob grab in there too, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Shane can probably let us know. But but yeah, awesome kill, badass kill. Like Bud said, probably the best part of the movie. So that's my number 7.
Nice. Okay, my number 7 is going to be from one of the considered the worst movies, and that's Friday the 13th Part 8, and it is Julius gets his head fucking completely punched off. And what's good? Here's what's great about it, right? What's great about it is that Julius, for it seems like the scene went on for 2 minutes. He gets some shots in on Jason, like he's hitting him in the head, he's hitting him in the chest. His hands start bleeding, and then he's finally all out of breath, and he goes, let's get your best shot. And Jason just fucking hits him with a
I think he
right
calls
hook.
him a motherfucker too.
Yeah, and he just knocks his head off. It rolls down into the dumpster. What a fucking great kill.
What's
my
sad
God.
about that is
Love
that was supposed
kill.
to take place in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Fucking
that
budget,
was
man.
I don't know. That was an.
Could you imagine if they were able to film in all these famous locales in New York City? If that would have made that movie any better.
I think it would have made the movie better if they just spent a lot more time in New York. If they could have just had the budget to go around New York and film in New York, and it was, I think that would have helped the movie out. But anyway, that's my number 7 kill, Julius from Part 8.
That's a classic.
All right, Bud, what do you got, man?
My number 7 is going to be from Friday the 13th, Part 6. Someone mentioned Court, him and his girlfriend in the Winnebago.
Yeah.
They took her getting her face mashed through the mirror, but mine is the other one, and that's Court's death. He just, that was John Travolta's nephew, I think.
Yes.
Played that guy.
Oh, really?
So he snuck up behind him and just with the Rambo knife right to the side of the head.
Yeah.
Flips the Winnebago, and that's my number.
I feel like that scene was almost made for like the Alice Cooper video when he after when it turns over and you see that you get the shot of Jason popping the door up and standing on it.
Both of those kills are good.
Yeah, and I do like how Court was just blasting the music as Jason's walking towards him.
Because if you watch Crystal Lake Memories,
Shane said, Teenage Frankenstein by Alice Cooper.
Yeah, if you watch Crystal Lake Memories, that scene was like the producer, who was like really tight with the budget, tried to get that scene cut. So I don't think it was for the music video.
Okay.
But I think the only reason he let it go on is because he wanted the air conditioner off the Winnebago.
Yeah, he did. Wasn't Jason was in the music video too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He was. So, Jake, you want to take the number 7s in the chat?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me just scroll up here. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss anybody.
Entertainment Wizard.
Yeah, Entertainment Wizard says. He says, Condor Drill Impalement, Jason X.
Yeah, that's like the corkscrew, right? Where he's kind of winding down. Yeah.
Yeah. Good one. James Rand says, Spear Through the Bed in Part 2. That's when he gets both of those. Yeah, that's a good one. Paxton Scoggins says, Vinny with the Road Flare, F-13, A New Beginning. Yep. Good one. Allie says, Crazy Ralph from Part 2. We just brought that one up. Somebody just brought that one up. Yeah. Shane Emerson says the smiley face kill of the paint baller in Part 6. Yes, when he throws the guy against the. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. That's part of what I love about Part 6. It's just stuff like that. It's not taking itself too seriously, but that shit like that was just that was a great one. Let's see. James Morant says best kill in Part 8. I'm just trying to see. Okay. Greg Shepard's number 7. He says Julius from Jason Takes Manhattan. Greg and I are on the same page. It's a great kill. Yeah. And I think I got everybody. No, Adam Howard. Sorry. Yeah. He says my number 7, Split in Half, Part 3.
The guy walking on his hands.
Oh yeah, the guy. Yeah, the handstand guy.
The
Adam,
split roast.
Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, we're on to number 6. So everybody get your number 6s in the chat. Let's see them. Push, what do you got for number 6?
I got Mr. Kevin Bacon from the original.
There you go.
So much good in this scene. I love that when you first see Kevin Bacon and I think his name's Jack, but and Marcy having sex, the camera pans up to their friend who's dead in the top bunk.
Yeah.
Ted, and then he's sitting there. I think he's smoking a joint actually. Smoking a joint, and boom, you see the arrow come through, and they had to like blow blood through, I think, and blood starts splattering all over.
The blood starts dripping down on him too.
Yeah. The blood drips down at first. It's like what, and then boom, you see Mrs. Voorhees' hand come up, and the arrow go right through his neck. Once again, just something Tom Savini was probably the only person that could have done something like that at the time. So that, like Bud said earlier, just the practical effects of that was awesome. And I think it's really cool that it's, of all people, it's fucking Kevin Bacon,
I know.
Kevin Bacon had a boner that whole movie, dude. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's a different story.
Well, he had some Viagra in that whole movie. I
Yeah,
know what he was
yeah.
doing, but all right, good one. That's a good one, definitely. All right, my number 6 is gonna be somebody already brought it up. Sheriff Garris from Part 6. Man, he too gets bent over backwards and snapped in half. I mean, holy shit, what a fucking kill. He definitely gets a couple. He shoots him with a shotgun a couple times,
Mhm.
knocks him down. Then he tries to shoot him with the regular guns. Like, dude,
Yeah,
shotgun.
you
Just got
shoot
up,
him in the face too.
Exactly. Dude, Jason just fucking snaps the guy in half. It's a great kill. Awesome kill. I love it. That's my number 6. Bud, what do you got for number 6?
My number 6 is going to be Crazy Ralph. Someone mentioned Crazy Ralph, the Colombian necktie.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of a shocking. That's going to be my number 6.
Was that barbed wire that he was choked though?
It was like a garrote. I don't know. I guess we call it garrote. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, Bud. Who's reading the chat?
Nick, I think it's your turn, Nick.
All right, we're on number 6, right?
Yes.
Number 6.
All right, so it looks like it's James Morant. He's got his number 6 is Cleaver to the Head, Jimmy Part 4. Yes, I agree. That's a good
Crispin
one.
Glover.
George
Yeah.
McFly. Yeah. Yep. Paxton has Mark Wheelchair Part 2.
Yep.
Classic that I'm sure will be mentioned again. Shane is right on line with his buddy Blaster with Sheriff Garris being bent in half. Agreed.
Oh, yeah.
Great kill. Allie's got Tina being pulled out the window in the car. Yep. That is a good one.
I'm really surprised that one's showing up as much as it has.
Yeah, it's showed up a lot.
I'm really surprised. Yeah.
It showed up a lot.
Adam Howard has poor Chewie alone in the parking garage. Ooh, that is a good one, Adam. Because it's very slow. It's from the remake with the screwdriver through the neck. Jason turns it around on him and slowly kind of goes in his neck. Yeah, that is a good one.
Good.
That's the guy that was drinking beer out of his shoe, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. He was never mind. But yeah. Entertainment Wizard has Sleeping Bag Kill Part 7. Definitely a classic. And then Greg Shepard has Vicky in Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Vicky.
She was the one with the brown panties. Yeah, she's the one with the brown panties, the sexy brown panties.
Okay.
Is that the one that Jason, when he is going slowly towards her with
yep. That's the one.
With his black and blue fingernail or whatever, yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
My lights are flickering in my back.
I saw that. I thought Bud did something to your room there. I was like,
I'm going dark, so
are you gonna lose
I might disappear. I might disappear in a minute, but no.
All right. Shane Emerson, you are on deck. If Blaster goes out, prepare your camera.
Yeah, Shane, be ready. You got to be ready to be called up at a moment's notice. All right, so where are we at? I think we're going into the top 5 now, right?
Top 5, yes.
All right, so everybody in the chat, get your number 5s ready to go. Put them in the chat. Push. Let's start the top 5 with you. What do you have?
I hate that I keep having ones that you've had, Blaster, right after you. I got Sheriff
you like
Garris.
You like to follow the educated.
The master. Yes, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I got Sheriff Garris from Part 6. Echoing everything you said. It's just brutal.
Yeah.
And I'll just add that it is cool that Garris is kind of hiding from Jason after. So he's shooting him a bunch of times, like with the shotgun, with the handgun, and then he realizes that it's not possible. So he just books it. He starts running in his big, coat, and he's hiding. And then he sees Jason turn his head when he hears Megan's voice, and then he grabs a rock and starts beating the fuck out of Jason with a rock.
Yeah.
And he's doing a good job. And then Jason just, like you said, bends him in half backwards. And I love that you can hear the cracking.
The sound. I was just going to say, I didn't bring that up.
Yes, the sound is it's just brutal.
Totally adds to the scene.
Yeah, and it's a character that, obviously a different topic, but a character that starts out as unlikable, even though he's just doing his job and he's trying to protect his daughter. You can see that. And then it's almost like you almost like him after this scene because, he gave it his best shot at Jason, and then he basically sacrificed himself to save his daughter.
Yeah.
So it's someone that, comes off like an asshole, but he wasn't an asshole. He was just a hard head.
Kind of like John Kreese from Cobra Kai.
Maybe.
Okay, number 5 for me is from Part 7. It's the sleeping bag kill. I think correct me if I'm wrong. You know who would know this is Josh, the horror guy, because he knows about that. Isn't there in the unrated cut? I think it's a longer kill.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
he hit him like 3 times, and then the MPAA said no,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
I
But
think
it
he
actually
did it
turned
twice.
out pretty
I think he
good
did
with
it
the
twice.
one. Was it twice?
I think he. It
I
was
think it
once
was
or twice,
twice.
but man, he smacked her against it was like, oh
Yeah.
my god.
I
Great
love that
kill.
he's dragging her for a little bit too
Yeah.
over to the tree, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. It's a great kill. It's definitely my favorite from that movie. So that would be my number 5. Judy, I believe her name was Judy Sleeping Bag Kill. That's what I have written down here.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the chat. But I think it's your turn to read them, man. Number 5s.
All right, number 5 from James Morant, the shower kill from Part 4, badass.
Hold on, Bud, did you say your part 5?
No, did I say my part? Wait a
I don't
minute.
know. Or did I? Well, we skipped you, bud. On your own.
Who just
channel?
went? Who just went?
I said Judy, the
Blaster
sleeping bag
said-
kill.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Oh, so-
skipped you, bud.
All right, well, let me do my number 5, and then I'll
On your own damn
my
channel.
own goddamn. So, mine's gonna be from Friday the 13th, Part 7 as well. But my number 5 is, you guys remember Melissa, the mean girl of the movie,
Oh
Good
yeah,
one. Yes.
Yeah.
that is a good one.
where she's like comes in there, and she's like, "Fuck you both," and then opens the door, and then
Yes.
Jason fucking whacks her right between the eyes with an axe, and then
Yeah.
just crudely throws her ass across the room.
Over the
gonna be
TV, yeah.
all over the
Yep.
TV, just brutal. Dispatches
yeah,
her
for
like she
sure.
was a piece of shit that she is,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be my number
I feel
5.
like seeing that in the theaters after how horrible Melissa was. I feel like that's got to be a moment where the crowd just cheers, especially in part 7, where at this point the crowd is cheering for Jason.
We're gonna talk about
you know.
that a little bit later. Nick.
Can I
Okay.
just say one thing? But I feel really bad for skipping. I mean, if I were to skip Nick Pusch, I wouldn't have felt bad. But I really feel bad for skipping you. I want.
No, don't worry about it. It's cool.
Okay.
I mean,
All
even
right,
I forgot. I mean, so
You started going to the chat right away.
yeah, I did. So let's go back to
So
let's
go
go
back to the chat.
Let's go back to the chat. Number 5, Entertainment Wizard had Doug Showerhead Crush Part 4.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That's a good one.
come up a couple times. Paxton Scott I mentioned earlier, but Bert gets face impaled into a tree and arms torn off, and Jason lives. Part 6.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Shane Emerson's waiting for his. He's in the minors waiting for his call up. You never know. And then his number 5 is Debbie's death, and Jason goes to hell. Jason possessed coroner, impales her with a signpost, and rips it through her chest,
Yes.
shoulder,
so
and the
good.
unrated cut.
Yeah, it's funny that you picked that one, Shane, because your buddy Push, I think, was talking about that.
Yes, it's great.
So Allie's number 5 is Richie, the bear trap kill, where he's stuck in the bear trap, and then
brutal.
Jason comes like running full blast with the axe,
Yeah,
like,
it's
right up
absolutely
into
brutal.
his shit.
Just the fact that he's in the bear trap is like, oh.
Yeah.
Scott Stevens, number 5, he likes Violet's death in part 5 while she does her epic dancing. Adam Howard, number 5. You remember Violet? She's doing her dancing. Remember
Yes.
she's
Yeah, I remember.
listening to The Cure or whatever. And,
Yes.
I think her original kill was she was supposed to take
Yes.
something to the nether regions, but they
Yes.
they
Correct.
changed it. Adam Howard, number 5 for him is Trent, a death so brutal, I'm willing to forgive all the douchebaggery and sympathize him.
He was a douchebag, just a class A douchebag.
And then yeah.
Go ahead.
That's from the remake, right, Trent?
Yes, from the remake. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Greg Shepard, his number 5 is the coroner death, and Jason goes to hell. The guy's face was mangled. Guy's face was mangled, was nasty.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
All right,
That's
so
a good
that's the
one.
number 5. So we're getting.
All right. So everybody, get your number 4s in the chat. Let's see what you got for number 4. But let's go to Nick Pusch first. For
My
his
number
4.
My number 4 is going to be Vera from Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Yeah.
This is the
Great
spear
kill.
gun through the eye.
Yeah.
This is the first time we see Jason wearing a hockey mask.
Yes.
He kind of
iconic.
strolls out, and Vera's like, I found your wallet. who are you? Because she sees the size of him, and he just starts pointing that spear gun at her, and she's like, "That's not funny." And the 3D effect, boom, right through the eye.
Oh,
But
yeah.
my favorite part of this kill is right after that happens, the way Jason turns around and just kind of tosses down the spear gun, and it's almost. I always say this. It's like he's realizing how much fun he's having.
Yeah,
killing
you
these fucks.
imagine he's smiling
Yes.
under the
Yeah,
mask.
under his mask, he's smiling, and then he looks up at the house, sees the light on where Andy and Debbie are, and just kind of slowly kind of turns and starts walking that way. So I call it the Pimp Jason kill because he's just like he's just badass. I love Richard Brooker. So yeah, Vera is my number 4.
There you go. Nice. All right. My number 4 is going to be one that's been mentioned already. It's a classic one in the franchise. It's Mark from Friday the 13th Part 2, the wheelchair kill. This dude went down about as many steps as were in The Exorcist. I mean, that fucking dude just went down the stairs.
Where did those come from?
I don't know, man. But dude, I was watching it back today. I'm like, holy shit. Just the music that accompanies it is classic too. So just the whole thing, it's a great kill. What more can you say about it? But Bud, before you go to the chat, it is your turn. What do you have for number 4?
So, I have the. So this one, I don't think anybody's gonna have this one, but it's from Part 1, and it's gonna be. You guys remember old Steve Christie? He's like, he's at the diner driving through the rain, and then he comes bumbling in, and boom, he walks up, light shining in his face.
Yeah. What are you doing on this mess?
and like you don't see a lot there, but it's still a brutal and an effective kill because it's like he's just walking up. I know this person, and boom, he's stabbed in the stomach.
Right to the gut.
Yeah, there's the score there and the lighting, and the rain.
It's just a shocking, abrupt kill.
And it's a POV, right? It's
POV.
We don't know. Yeah.
Oh, hi, it's you.
Still, we don't know. We don't know who the killer is. It still hasn't been revealed. So.
Yeah, and it's hard for us to look back because it's hard to remember the first time you watched this movie. Now you've seen it so many times, you know who the killer is. But I assume he was probably a suspect too at that time. Where it could have been him. So and then you find out it's not. Yeah.
But this scene tells us that so these people know who this person is, at least some of these people, and that you're maybe we're gonna find out who this is. So
absolutely.
Yep.
I don't think we have another scene like it in Friday the 13th from then on. So
no, I don't think so. But one more thing about it is I like the fact, again, it's the POV of him walking at the camera. You know what I mean? Like you just said, the lights are on and it's lit. It's lit well. It's good. It really is. All right, let's go to the chat. Is it my turn to read the chat?
Yes, it's your turn.
All right. Let me see. Scroll up. Okay, number 4 for James Morant says spear gun to the eye, Part 3. Yes, great kill. I think Pusch just had that, right?
Yep.
Paxton Scoggins says Wayne electrocuted. Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah, the dude he threw him right. Yeah, that's the dude he threw into the electrical box, right?
Right.
On the okay.
On the boat. Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Shane Emerson says the sleeping bag kill. Is that the one from Part 7, Shane? I think you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be my guess.
Entertainment Wizard says sleeping bag over the fire in the remake. Brutal kill.
Yeah.
Scott Stevens says number 4, Junior's death in Part 5.
That's where he's riding the motorcycle and the machete just comes.
Oh, I was thinking of the Ooh Baby guy.
Yeah,
that's right. He gets his head whacked off.
Yeah.
Allie says Amanda sleeping bag kill 2009. That one's come up a lot. That one has come out a lot. James Morant says again, Richard Brooker, one of the best Jasons. I agree with you on that.
He's my favorite.
Adam Howard says number 4, off-screen kill from Part 2. Which one? Isn't there a couple that were from Part 2?
It could be I don't know. It could be Terry. No, she was kind of half killed.
Oh no, I'm playing. He says number 4 was the
corporate 3-piece from Jason Lives. Where he cuts her head off. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I lost my place there for a second. Greg Shepard says Part 4 is outhouse kill.
Well, I
in
think
part,
it's
number 4. Number 4. He said, okay, yeah, you're saying number 4 is the outhouse from part 5. Yeah.
Damn
So-
enchiladas.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Taking
baby. Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
that's kind of, you know what that is? That's kind of a pre Joe Grizzly almost.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
A
Yeah.
little bit, right? I think that was it for the force.
That's it.
Adam Howard, let's read his comment. It says he said Manhattan had some pretty good kills despite everything. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Yeah. Okay. Number 3 for Nick Pusch. What do you got, man?
My number 3 is George McFly from Part 4. We'll talk about his dancing some other time, maybe.
Hey, you get your
Top
damn
5
hands off her.
Yeah. But Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew? And then Jason puts the corkscrew in his hand, and then he looks at Jason, and boom, cleaver in the face. And I love that. Hate to keep harping on the practical effects here, but just fucking brilliant.
Yeah,
Dude, it's what it is. That's what Friday the 13th is. It's a master class in practical effects.
Yeah, it is.
It is. So yeah, that's my number 4.
That was your number 3 or number 4?
Number 4. Or sorry, number 3. Yeah.
3. Okay.
Sorry, it's like Part 3 is my number. Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
Gets a little.
Okay, my number 3 is gonna be Marcy from the original, with the axe
Dude,
to the face, man.
Very, very underrated.
It's just it's the whole Savini thing. Savini really, I mean, what can you say? The guy's a legend. But it's a great kill, man. Yeah, it's just a fucking axe to the face, right down the middle of your face. Brutal kill. And I just watched it again today, and it's just still, it's one of the best kills in the movie.
And the whole scene is eerie. The way she's sitting in the outhouse and somebody comes in, and then you don't know which stall this killer is in, and she's opening it. Yeah,
she's opening each stall. It's kind of like it's that, you know what it is? It's old school kind of. A lot of '80s movies kind of did that with we saw that almost in Halloween 2 with Garrett when he's opening each door. You know what I mean? Before the killer pops out. So that's kind of same thing there, of the same vein. But anyway, that's my number 3. All right, Bud, what do you got? Number 3.
So this one's come up several times tonight, and it's from Friday the 13th, Part 2, and it is the wheelchair death.
Yeah.
That poor bastard Mark takes a hatchet through the face, and then in the rain, the pouring rain, he's just shoved down the stairs.
That's a good point. The rain adds to the scene too.
I think seeing that scene when I was younger is like the first thing that ever clued me into Friday the 13th, because that scene is so memorable.
Yeah,
and this is my number 3.
There you go.
Good one.
All right, let's go to the chat.
I think it's on me, right?
All right.
So we got James Morant says the Kevin Bacon death. Yes, that is classic. It's been mentioned. Paxton Scroggins says the Vera the spear gun. Another fantastic one. We're getting to the elite kills here, so I'm sure most of these have either been mentioned or will be mentioned already. But moving along, we got Shane Emerson with Julius's decapitation from Jake's Manhattan. Entertainment Wizard says Trent's impalement and chest ripped upward. Or sorry, the tent, not Trent. See, I'm already getting mixed up with all these kills. The tent impalement in Jason Goes to Hell. That's brutal with the sign.
I have a hard time reading them too because my mic, you know what it is? My mic arm is right here. It's right in the way. It's in the way of what I'm trying to read.
Yeah, and I see tent and I'm thinking Trent. Scott Stevens says poor crazy Ralph in Part 2.
Part 2,
yeah. That is a good one. I think, Bud, that was on your list too. Let's see. Adam Howard says number 3. I'm sorry, Bud. What's that?
I said a lot of us have the same number 3 of me and in the chat.
Yep.
Adam Howard has Mark. That's the wheelchair death. He says very mean spirited. He's savage and fair.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed, Adam. Shane? Okay. And Allie says Mark also says Mark the wheelchair.
The wheelchair.
And Shane's intrigued me. He says his number 1 has not been mentioned by anyone yet.
Well, Shane's a loner. He's a loner.
He is a loner, but I know there will be nudity involved in Shane's death scene. So It's probably no, that has been mentioned. I was gonna say.
Well, I will say this. Shane was knocked off of his perch.
Yes, he was.
Rob Zombie's Halloween. He put in a valiant effort. Yes, he put in a very valiant effort to try to defend. It's hard to go back to back. I mean, it is hard. It's not easy. Shane gave it a valiant effort, but he was knocked off his perch. So I expect a lot better from him on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Can we go back to the Julius decapitation from Jason Takes Manhattan?
Please. Yeah.
I wanted Rocky to do that in Rocky 5 to Tommy Gunn. I think that was a missed opportunity. Right in the street.
I think I can. You know what, bud? I can agree with you.
We got Greg Shepard with a late entry here too. He's got Trent. He's got Trent from the 2009. Says he deserved it. Yes, he did.
Yeah,
it was a
stupendous
kill.
Yeah, stupendous kill. Yeah, first of all, how does he get to whatever? Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's go to. We're in the top 2, boys. Top
number 2.
Everybody, put your number 2 in the chat. We're gonna go to Nick Pusch first for his number 2. What do you got, man?
My number 2 has not been mentioned. That is Mark the Wheelchair Death. Yeah, just a great scene. I'll just touch on something that we haven't touched on. I love that he's just kind of sitting in his obviously sitting. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad. Jesus.
Jeez, don't get us canceled. Whatever.
Yeah, I know. But he's sitting in his wheel. Jesus Christ, I apologize. I'm gonna get canceled by the MPAA. But
he walked down the steps.
He's on the porch, and he's just kind of there, and you just kind of have a delay, and you just hear the score playing, and it's raining, and then boom, like you guys said, it just happens. And I think the machete was facing backwards, but he's still laughing at that. Dude,
he says he's sitting. Obviously,
he's just rolling. He's just rolling around. No,
just move on. All right, move on. I apologize to anyone I may have offended.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get myself together here. Number 2 for me is one that everybody's brought up. It's Vera from Friday the 13th Part 3, the arrow to the face. Here's what I love about it. He pulls a Michael Corleone. Like, he just drops the thing, and the way he walks away, it's just like so slow, and like, I don't know. Richard Brooker was great. Like you said, I think Nick said it too when he brought this up. It's the first time we see the hockey mask. It's just, I don't know. I love when she goes, she says something about his wallet, and then just boom. You're like, whoa, shit just got real. And they tried to, I don't know if anybody's gonna bring this up, but they tried to nod to it in the remake with the dude that was driving the boat, which was brutal. I actually had that written down. It didn't make that list, but
yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Nick?
Oh, I was just gonna say the thing about the way Brooker kind of moves there is Brooker was a trapeze artist, so he's got kind of some grace in his movements, and I think that kind of helped with what he was trying to portray with his version of Jason.
It was a little. Well, it was a little Dick Warlock-esque.
He had to be the guy that swung upside down and caught the actual trapeze artist, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. He's a monster.
Imagine him flipping through the air like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my number 2, Vera from Friday the 13th Part 3. Bud, what do you got?
All right, so my number 2, we were talking earlier about seeing this movie in the theater. And ironically enough, this movie was the first Friday the 13th movie I ever saw in the theater. And it is, of course, Friday the 13th Part 7. I was 12. My mom, nice enough to take me and one of my friends. And the sleeping bag death. Someone said her name earlier. Where she's like, come and get me. Judy. She's like, come and get me, you stud. Yeah. And then she gets walloped, and like I remember people cheering loudly through several parts of that movie, because that movie had so many great kills. Despite what you think of the story, it had a lot of great.
Of her hitting the sound of her hitting the tree is like, oh man.
And it had a lot of where you could root for, not necessarily her death, but like Dr. Cruz. Melissa, like there's a lot of people you could root for their killing, and there was a lot of that going on. when I saw Friday the 13th Part 7 in the
has
theater.
Has Bernie ever not played a dick?
I don't think so.
I mean, you know,
He's
He
so
just
good
looks
at it.
like a dick, doesn't he?
he looks
when
like
you have
one,
the
he
look, you
plays
have the
one,
look.
You know, I don't know. So
he's kind of like Peck from Ghostbusters and Die Hard. You know, like he's always just plays an asshole.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah, the
Real Genius,
the
Susan, Real
fucking-
Genius.
Yeah, no, William Atherton. What a fucking
Yes.
asshole he was in both movies.
I bet he's like the nicest person in real life.
Probably,
I'm sure he is.
Okay,
That
so
woman
let's go to the
humiliated
chat
me in
and-
public.
Let's go to the chat. All right, let's go to the chat, bud. What do you?
I'll do it. James Morant, number 2. And this one's not been mentioned. Mrs. Voorhees' death in the original Friday the 13th.
You know what?
I'm really surprised that it hasn't come up. I'm really surprised.
And it's a good
disappointed
one.
in myself.
Actually, after I made my list, I thought about it. And it's iconic. And yeah, that's a good one, James. Very
Entertainment. I knew my top 10. This is Adam Howard. I knew my top 2 immediately. Number 2 is the Shaq from Freddy vs. Jason, who took the flying flame machete through the chest. Kayat, who?
The guy, remember when Jason's walking on fire with the cornfield, they're spraying beer at him, and the guy's running away, and the machete's on fire, and he throws it through his chest. Yeah.
Right. Entertainment Wizard, the Adrian's liquid nitrogen death smash kill, Jason X.
Yes.
Shane Emerson has the same one, the liquid nitrogen kill in Jason X.
Mm-hmm.
Allie, she has Jenna, played by Daniel Panabaker in the remake.
Yeah, that was shocking.
It was a shocking, yes, it was. That's what I was going to say. It was a shocking death.
Was. Yeah, to take over. You didn't think Danielle Panabaker was going to die.
No, not at all. Yeah. She was the love interest. You thought she was going to make
girl,
it.
Yeah. But no.
Greg Shepard, number 2, Alice's ice pick death to the temple. That was another shocking death.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the one in part 2. Yeah. Scott Stevens.
All right.
Scott Stevens.
So Shane Emerson has an honorable mention. Are we going to allow it? Will we allow it? Permission granted?
Yeah.
All right, Shane Emerson, we will give you, since you were a winner.
You forgot to read Scott Stevens, though.
Oh, Scott Stevens. Jeff and Sandra, the spear death at the same time.
Yep.
Yes.
Part 2.
Shish kebab.
So the panel has ruled, Shane Emerson, we will allow your honorable mention. And it is from the remake when Jason kills the girl hiding under the dock, Willow Ford.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
Willow Ford,
she wanted to be bad. I love that
Willow
song.
Ford, yeah. Willow Ford. I really like that scene.
So are we ready for number 1s?
We're ready for number 1s. Drum roll.
Right.
Let's start with Nick Pusch. Nick Pusch, what do you got?
My number 1's been mentioned a couple times, not a lot, but a few times, and that is going to be Andy from Part 3, the handstand kill.
Yes.
I love that they kind of set it up with him walking on his hands a few times throughout the movie, and then he's walking out from the bathroom where his pregnant girlfriend is taking a shower, and then you see kind of Jason's feet standing there. Yeah. And then he looks up, and I love how the camera shows what Andy sees, and you see Jason second time we've seen the hockey mask, and just chops him in half from the fucking nuts.
I love the shot too. The shot is unbelievable. Like you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's great. And I love when she gets killed, his girlfriend gets killed after you got the blood dripping then on an article that says Tom Savini's name. And then she looks up and you see his body cut in half, and it's just fucking brutal. So
yeah.
That's always been my favorite.
Nice. All right, everybody get your number 1s in the chat. We see them coming in. Okay, my number 1 is one that has been mentioned quite a bit tonight, but it is Adrian from Jason X, man. Dude, you know what? It's so Terminator 2. Like he just dips her face in that shit, and then he just takes this, like Bud said, smashes her fucking face right on the table and just boom. It was just such a cool kill.
Yeah.
For a shitty movie, I don't know. I loved it. I really did. I thought it's such a great kill.
And the effects, like after her face is smashed, it's like smashed where like half of her face is like kind of like cut off, like the actual definition of like where her eyes, nose, and mouth are cut off. You can see it. It's well done.
Yeah, it's definitely That's my number one. Bud, what do you got, man? What takes the top spot for you?
So my number one is, it's come up a lot tonight, and it's kind of been all over, and to me, I think it's the most iconic kill in the Friday the 13th franchise, and it's going to be the spear gun kill where Vera takes the spear gun to the eye, and nobody's mentioned this. Everybody's mentioned that, like,
we'll mention it.
It's the very first time we saw Jason as we know it. The iconic first time we see Jason.
We both said that.
Both me and Blaster have mentioned that.
Did you really? Oh, fuck.
Yes.
Well, I'm just.
You know, what's going on tonight? We got lights going out behind me. Bud doesn't know what's going on.
I'm making
you guys, I'm gonna watch this back. Neither one of you mentioned this.
We mentioned it. We
both
both
mentioned it. I can't wait till you rewatch this.
Yeah,
you're gonna be
You guys mentioned that he dropped it, like how it was so funny that he dropped it.
Hold on. Let's go to the chat. The chat, we have witnesses, Bud. Everybody in the chat, yes, we mentioned it, or no, we didn't.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, type yes if we know we mentioned it, or no if we didn't.
And I think Blaster, when you mentioned it, you even said, like Pusch said, it's the first time we see the hockey. Yeah,
I certainly did.
Yeah.
All right. Do I have permission to change my number one?
But
Shane Emerson got a do-over. Can I get a do-over?
But we just totally roasted you like what's her name, Amanda, over the fire. Sorry, Bud.
But continue. What else do you like about this guy?
We love you, buddy.
I guess I liked that he just abruptly threw down the spear gun and he was smiling underneath his mask, I guess.
And we haven't said that. Neither of us said that either.
Yes, you both did. I remember you guys saying that. Like, I don't remember you saying iconic. Jesus.
Listen.
God, I blew it.
Shane Emerson says you'll allow it. Bud, you're doing a great job.
Shut off my mouth. I shut off my gun.
It's a great kill. I think it was in both of our top fives here. It was in all of our top fives. So
yeah. Oh yeah. No, that kill. I think everybody's had that kill. Even in the chat, we've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
It's iconic. It definitely is, and just so.
Nobody mentioned Brenda dying with the bow and arrow. That's my number one.
All right. Well,
it's my new number one.
Pusch, you want to read the number ones?
Is that me? I think so. All right.
So.
Number one for James Morant is the sleeping bag death from part 7. Just awesome. Yep. It's another classic one, and I'm jealous that Bud was able to see it in the theater.
Okay, so Nick, you totally missed 2 other people's number ones before that.
I was coming back to them. Actually.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I interrupted.
Just kidding. No, I completely missed them. Paxton Scroggins. Thanks, Bud, for picking me up. Says Charles McCulloch thrown in the window and drowned in the sludge. Yeah, apparently, not only does the city of New York have the sewer system that fills with toxic waste, they also have barrels of toxic waste just sitting in the
just
streets.
right on the corner.
Yeah, but I agree that kill is brutal. He's another just fucking dickhead.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I was just gonna say. I was just gonna say that. How did nobody bring that? The guy is like the first time he stepped on screen and talked, I was like, he's got to go. This guy's got to fucking go. He's got to go, and he's got to go in a horrible way. Yeah. Paxton, good. That's a good one, man.
They delivered. Entertainment Wizard says Mark, the wheelchair kill.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
James Morant, we already got with the sleeping bag death. Shane says Jason rising from the dead and ripping out Hawes' heart and Jason.
He said he had one that nobody had. So
right in the beginning. Yeah, right in the beginning. Yeah, that's a great one.
Jason's not even wearing the hockey mask there. He's I love how Hawes hits him with the shovel. The shovel breaks. Jason just turns around and boom, in like one fell swoop.
Was his name Hawes or Haas?
Yeah,
I think it's Hawes. No, he's right.
Hawes, and then he falls into the casket, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Scott Stevens is another one no one's mentioned, and that's Kelly Rowland from Freddy vs. Jason. Yes, that's a good one. Jason smashed her against the tree after.
It's actually my honorable mention for number one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
that's
it wasn't.
A good one. Yeah. Oh, okay. I like James says Hawes had a lot of heart, Shane. Well done, James. Well done. Greg Shepard says the trash can scene in Jason Takes Manhattan. Okay, so saying to Charles.
Oh, Charles. Yeah. Charles.
I'm really stunned that 2 people had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm stunned that more people didn't have it.
Well, you
Ellie
didn't have it.
says number 1 handstand kill.
Yes.
3
yeah, it's
Ellie.
been-
Shane says he's sitting. Obviously, he's sitting. Yep. I don't know what you're talking about, Shane. And it looks like that is all we got here. So, great lists, everyone.
Can I give
Yeah,
my
guys.
my real number one?
Sure.
Our real number
why
one.
why don't we all give one that didn't make the list? I'll give you one that didn't make the list. Let me see. I put I had the harpoon gun. Paul when he gets shot in the nuts
Yeah.
with the harpoon gun in part
Yeah.
4.
Somebody had
Somebody
that,
brought
yeah.
that up. Yeah, somebody brought that up, but that's one that didn't make my list. That was a brutal one. Yeah.
Yeah. Mine would probably be. God, there's so many. There's so many. I want to say Axel, but I'll probably go with the shish kebab kill, from part 2 where they're having sex.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to go with Ethel from part 5, where she takes the machete to the head and then falls in her soup.
Yes, that's right.
Nobody had that. So there, I win.
No, I think it was a cleaver, wasn't it?
Whatever it was.
Okay.
You know, nobody mentioned Jason from part 4 when he
4,
falls on the
yes.
machete.
That's fucking brilliant.
Nobody mentioned that. Wow.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Elizabeth kill where she's in the water and gets the fence post through the face. No, nobody had that one.
What's
No.
that from?
Part said Jason Lives.
Yeah, Jason Lives.
She's in. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, where she's like her credit cards are floating in
Credit
the puddle.
card. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally went without it,
Greg
yeah.
Shepard says, "What about the guitar death in part 7?" Yeah.
Part 8.
No, is it?
No,
was
it was
part
part 8.
No,
Yeah,
it should be part 8. Yeah, but
Part
yeah,
8.
that's
Part
good.
8. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. There's so many.
Scott Stevens says honorable mention Joey from Jason Goes to Hell.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Joey. Is that the guy that gets his face smashed in at the diner or something?
I'm not
or
even
no?
sure. I hate
Oh
that
no,
movie.
he gets his arm busted, his bone sticking out, I think. Yeah. Oh.
Nobody mentioned that dipshit in part 4 who was screaming, "He's killing me!"
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Rob,
He's
yeah,
killing.
yeah.
Nobody mentioned him.
no.
Yeah.
Did anybody mention the guy who gets his eyeball popped out in part 3?
One
Nobody
person in the
did.
chat did. One person in the chat did, but yeah.
Okay.
They said it looked bad though. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so that was a fun list to do. I really
Adam
I
Howard.
enjoyed that.
Adam Howard, he said we skipped his number 1.
Oh,
sorry,
you gotta
Adam.
read it. You gotta read
Sorry,
it.
Adam. He's
what
gonna
was it, man?
unsubscribe. He's gonna unsubscribe to my channel.
Adam, don't do
Sorry,
it. Don't
Adam.
do it. We feel bad, man. What is it? Where is it? Let me go back and see if we can find it.
I'm seeing.
I don't see it.
Demolished.
Put it again. Put it again, Adam. He says it.
I left out part 1 and 5 because
We gave you an honorable mention though.
No, he says you guys skipped my number 1. What is it, Adam? Put it in there. I can't. I'm trying to find it, but
Yeah, he said he knew his top 2 immediately. Number 2 is Shaq flying, and then I see. Honorable mention before part 1. I left out
He
part
said
1
it was the best
5.
one.
yeah, I'm just
Honorable
trying to.
mention. Admonished.
Is it? Well, Adam, is it Mark the wheelchair guy? And it was because he was sitting.
Yeah, sorry, Adam. I don't see it.
Yeah,
Could be
I
a
don't think
glitch with the chat. Could be a glitch with the chat or something, but I don't see it. But we'll keep our eyes out while we're still
Yeah.
while we're still talking
Yep.
here. So
Adam,
please
post
put
it
in.
and we'll read it. I really
'Cause
don't see it either.
now I'm extremely curious myself. What is it?
Yeah. I don't see it either. I'm just I was just trying to look for it. But Adam, put it back in the chat, man. We'll read it, for sure. But yeah, that was again, like I said, it was a fun list to do. Definitely, everybody had a lot of it was a lot of the same. Everybody had a lot. You know what? I think one of the ones, obviously, Mark's wheelchair kill was on there a lot. Vera's spear gun through the eye was on there a lot. So, but yeah. So, what do you guys have anything else?
No, I mean, like you said, it's a fun list. It's tough. There's probably I don't know, 6 or 7 classics that everybody's gonna have at least 4 of those on their list, just because they're classics and everyone has their own taste as far as which Friday the 13th movie and which Friday the 13th kills from those 7 or whatever are their favorites. But after that, if you go movie to movie and you start thinking of your favorites, from each movie, it's tough because I feel especially something like part 3, part 4, part 2. There's so many that have like where you could pick like 3 or 4 from each movie. But then you're stuck leaving out some good ones from part 8 and part 7. So it's really tough to make a list like this.
Yeah. I mean, I tried not to pick anything from part 5 because it's not Jason. I tried not to pick anything from. I'm not a big fan of Jason Goes to Hell. I really think it's the worst movie in the franchise. So I didn't pick anything from there, and I didn't pick anything from Freddy versus Jason. But, so yeah, there's that. But let's see. Somebody asked what the next fancy. Oh, Paxton Scoggin says, "What's the next fancy talk top 10 gonna be?" Well, I'll tell you right now because we just talked about it before we came on. Next week is opening week for the NFL. So we wanted to do something football related. So I'm going to give you guys a homework assignment. Next Wednesday, Fancy Talk, episode 6 over on my channel, Jake Blaster Productions. And it is going to be top 10 football characters in a football movie. So this is top 10 football players. So like Johnny Utah, Shane Falco,
Willie Beeman.
Ray Finkel. So those are what we're talking about. That's going to be our top 10 list for next week because the NFL season is kicking off. So, get your list ready for next week.
Yeah, and it's got to be it doesn't have to be a movie about football, but it has to be a football player in a movie. So not a TV show, not a book. So it's not just fictional football characters, but it could be a football, like you mentioned, Johnny Utah. That's technically not a football movie, but he was a football player.
Could it be O.J. Simpson from The Naked Gun?
Well,
I can't. He's got me blocked, man.
The juice.
It'll be interesting. The list, especially once you get towards the top, because when you say that, it's like, is there really 10? But if you think about it, yeah, there is, because you got like the Water Boy, and you got the Longest Yard, and like you mentioned Wildcats earlier.
Wildcats is another great one. You'll have multiple.
Unnecessary Roughness, Kathy Ireland.
The Best of Times.
Scott Bakula. Come on.
Yeah.
Rudy.
What's the movie with Warren Beatty? Heaven Can Wait. Warren Beatty when he's
Yes.
That's an old school one, but he's
yes. Bud's favorite movie of all time, Jerry Maguire.
There you go. Jerry Maguire.
Well,
Shane Emerson, The Best of Times. You guys know I love The Best of Times. Reno Hightower may make an appearance on my list. You guys know that. So
is there a Married with Children movie? I need Al Bundy on my list.
Well, let's see.
Forrest Gump, though.
Yeah. Forrest Gump is he's.
There's so many possibilities. You're really gonna have to scour.
I'm gonna have to actually
football movie history.
Yeah, this is gonna be so it'll be a fun one. So next week it'll be on my channel, same time 9:30 next Wednesday night. So make sure. I mean, you guys I think are all subscribed to my channel and with the notifications turned on so you don't miss it. But we'll be tweeting it out, so make sure you're following us all on Twitter. And this was a good one, Bud. Congratulations for hosting the first Fancy Talk. This is the first episode on your channel. You did awesome job, man.
Totally fucked and shit the bed on my number 1 kill, but it went good.
You were good. You were good.
You shit the bed on your number 5 kill.
Yeah, on all your
not your number 1. When you were skipped.
but as always, listen, we really want to thank you guys in the chat because it's fun for us to give our kills, but it's also fun to interact with you guys this way and read your top 10s and stuff like that. So that's why part of the reason we love this show. And next week we'll be continuing. So anything in closing, boys? Does anybody have anything in closing?
Not hopefully, but it's very possible the Halloween Kills trailer will debut.
Ends.
Jesus Christ, ends. Thank you. I do that all the time, man. But the trailer could be coming here, as Bud's been saying for a month. It's imminent.
Yeah, I think
so. I agree. I personally think it drops tomorrow. I want to hear you guys' tell me I'm a genius when it does. So yeah, I have a source. I don't have a source. But no, it's just a hunch
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
So
I think that's
could come
coming
at
any
time.
day.
Yeah.
Oh, Adam Howard he says
Oh.
he said it doesn't know why it didn't show up. It's no problem, man.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
Freebird.
But he said Freebird Freddy from Freddy
Yes,
versus Jason.
that is a good one. That's a very good one. He basically gets kind of chopped in half, just like Mark or just like Andy was in part 3. It's just from the top. It's a good one.
Yeah, but yeah.
And also, so one thing I want to mention too is, make sure you're following Bud too, because he's doing the trivia, the Halloween trivia is on his channel. Next one is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and
September
I will
11th.
I will never forgive Bud for making me.
I have 2 questions locked
again.
in for that trivia. I have 2. I locked 2 in last night, so. And I think I'm gonna make instead of making this one fun, I think I've decided I want to make this one hard. I want people. I think I was listening back to the last trivias, and I thought they were kind of too easy.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna make this one a little harder, a little tougher.
I think making easy questions for this will still be hard.
Exactly.
I can tell you. I can tell you one question that didn't. It's not gonna make the cut. But
no, don't say anything. Don't give away anything.
No, this is not gonna be on there. But what's the difference between jelly and jam? It's not gonna make the list. I'm sorry. So.
Oh my God, Rob Zombie's writing at its finest.
Yeah.
So yeah, Bud, why don't you take us out, man?
Yeah, Adam Howard, we'll definitely do the top 10 Halloween franchise kills.
Yes.
We'll definitely
100%.
do that.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is always fun. We love reading your lists. And like Jake said, we'll see you next week over on Jake Blaster Productions. And I'm going to take it out. Everybody have a